Hi, Geoffrey.
Hi, Chinna. Good evening.
Thanks for joining this IIBA related sessions overview.
You're
Uh,
welcome, Chinna. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for this time as well for making time on a Sunday. It's always a pleasure. Yep.
can you provide a short overview in two, three
Mhm.
statements of your interest in AA, and then we will continue.
Sure. My interest in AI is as I'm a business analyst by profession, and always been fascinated across domains, what AI, more than what AI can do, how we can leverage AI, right? It's not just about the tools, how we can use the best of whatever that which is available to mold into our existing roles and make the best use of it. So thinking about it, somehow I got fascinated to explore about AI agents. First of all, I'm not a techie person, right? So I started exploring on building no code or low code agents basically, and I found two interesting tools, Langflow and Diffy. I have worked on a use case with Langflow. I was able to deploy a use case. I locally hosted in my own laptop in my local server, wherein I was able to use that particular use case to run for the agent to be able to run autonomously. I tested it and it did work. I did publish it on my LinkedIn page. And secondly, I wanted to do a little bit deep dive and try to understand what is workflow, what is chatbot, how it is being developed and integrated into apps, and the funda behind it, and building AI agents, and how effective is AI agent rather than compared to a workflow in building new products. So basically things like that. So I found Diffy to be more interesting, and currently in the phase of exploring Diffy and working on some use case to take things to the next level. And then I started exploring how effectively we can use prompts, and what are the connectors that which Gemini, ChatGPT, and chatbots like that use. And so things like that, I think it's an interesting journey. The goal is to try to effectively and relevantly use the best of technology, those that are available, and that could be made more of use to current business analysts. So that's a little bit of the overall journey, Chinna. Recent one to be specific.
Thanks, Geoffrey. So, I believe now, as we discussed, we can start looking at Diffy. So, I'll share my screen and you can walk me through on how we can explore on Diffy.
Sure.
So, here I've done a Google search on Diffy. So if I come down, so diffy.ai is the link that I get. So
Okay.
thereafter, I click on this and I log in through my Google account. So I'll stop
Yes.
sharing and I'll show you after login how it has done.
Sure.
Are you able to see Diffy homepage here?
The screen is loading. Yes, it has launched successfully, Chinna. Yep.
Yes. So what I did was in Google, I searched for Diffy and I went for diffy.ai. I clicked on that and logged in through my Google account. I got this.
Mhm.
And we are now in the homepage of Diffy, https://cloud.diffy.ai. So this is
Yes.
a AI platform and a tool and software as a solution uh, that helps you build a lot of AI applications. So with that, you can guide me on how to go about with this Diffy.ai.
Yes. Sure, Chinna. Diffy is an autonomous agent builder. It's a low code or a no code based, agent builder. Not just an agent. We can build chat flows, chat bots, workflows, text generators, and even AI agents as we spoke. And it's an open source platform. And it's essential, and it's the plugins are already available. So the difference between coded and non-coded agents, or workflows, those that are available is like in a typical method, in an AI flow, say if you are using a Python, like developers like code the exact meticulous steps those that are actually involved in from for the message to be passed, and the potential next step, right, that could be estimated. Everything is run in scripts. So in low code and no code agents, everything is like pre-built. The plugins, it's available already in the form of like plugins. So Diffy is one of the tools where in which like everything, all the presets are already available and ready to use. And this being an open source platform with the limited API credits, those that are available, Diffy can help us to create agents, for example, so that if we are building an app or a website, it can be effectively using the APIs, we can integrate that into the platform that which we are working on. So this is a just about Diffy. So would it be taking up an agent or a workflow? What will be taking up for this presentation, Chinna?
So we will be taking up a small agent use case as we discussed already, and
Sure.
this is the non-paid version. So we are not paying anything in this use case, either for
Mm.
DP or for any other AI model. So as you can see over here, DP has provided 40 credits. So
Yes.
as in the sandbox model. So if we
Yes.
want to pay and upgrade, we can pay and upgrade. But for
Yes.
learning purpose, we are using this non-paid version. So now
Exactly.
we're going to Studio,
Yes.
correct? So
Exactly,
from
Chinna.
the
You can
home
proceed.
page, go to Studio.
You can create from blank. In fact, we in fact like have templates and other easy to use models. But right now, for the benefit of comprehension, we can try to create from blank.
So we are creating from a blank or empty canvas.
Yes,
So
we will be creating an empty canvas, and as you said, agents. You can choose more basic app types that is displayed. Yeah.
we are selecting agent, intelligent agent
Yes.
with reasoning and autonomous tool use.
Yes. So the context here is like we can give it an app name and we can tell it for we are just giving a brief just for what purpose that agent will be working as or working for. Yeah, as
Searching
per
basic information from Wikipedia.
cool.
Go to next.
We can hit create channel.
Yes, sir. Clicking on create.
Okay. Achina,
So
have you chosen create? Sorry, I'm not able to see the screen moving.
yes, I have selected create. Uh,
Sorry. Can you
so
reshare the screen
some
if it's
reason,
okay? Sorry, I'm
I
just
think
seeing the
some
same
reason,
screen. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Stop share and start sharing again.
Thanks, Chinna. Thanks
Some
for that.
reason
Yeah.
it stopped share. We are able to see the screen now.
Yes, wonderful. I'm able to see China. Great.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
now, what is the next step that we need to do?
Okay. Next step is basically we will be giving it's like say in ChatGPT we have no presets and in Gemini for example we have gems, right? We'll be in which we can create that agent that app to function as for a particular purpose as a specialist. So similarly, we are creating while creating this agent, we are giving it a specific set of instructions and telling it, hey, like you need to do so and so purpose so that it benefits me uh, for this particular purpose. So it's just giving a specific gist. So the description was more generic. Now it's like you're giving specific instructions to the agent and you're telling the agent what specifically uh, it should be working upon and how and why it needs to perform in that specific pattern. So this should be the main goal. So you can put some 2 to 3 lines, or like keep it like less than 2 lines, pertaining to the idea that which you have, Chinna.
So provide details from Wikipedia based on the description and input submitted to bot.
Okay. So if you wish to include a specific topic, you can include as well, Chinna. I mean, just FYI, if you wish to include any topic, yeah,
Uh, Provide details, updates from latest. Provide updates from people. Have included.
great idea. Suits the season. And yeah. So another thing is like Chinna, like these are the instructions first. Second thing is like generally for AA agents, like the one of the main aspects in which an agent differs from workflow is like we're giving instructions on every particular step. For an agent, we just give the tools and the knowledge, and the agent is able to automatically think pertaining to whatever is the guided instruction from the user's point. So here we have knowledge. Knowledge is like anything that which you're working on, anything personal, anything that which is your company specific, any any documents, any if you're working on any project, any legacy documents, those that are already available, artifacts in PDF format, Word, Excel, so on, all of which can be attached. The agent can extract information, parse it into tokens, split it accordingly, and convert that into relevant output. So that's what a knowledge does. Tools, if we see, like we have some open source tools, limited some free tools those that are available. For example, Wikipedia, as you have chosen, is a free source, but there are other sources, those that require API credits. Like for example, if there is Google is there as a source, if you are choosing Google, Google doesn't come for free, so we will have to create an API key for Google and utilize the API key in this platform to to get the API credits, and then we can consume. So just FY, basic idea
So
about
to
what
keep it,
knowledge and tools
yeah,
is.
to keep it basic, selected Wikipedia because we are
Great.
now working in
Hmm.
the non-paid zone only. So we are not taking anything from the paid zone either in terms of tools or AI models or the software itself or SaaS application itself. So all of it, Diffy is in the non-paid zone right now in the sandbox mode, and tool also Wikipedia will select in the from the non-paid. So here, I believe we have to select the tools next.
Yes.
Uh,
Thanks for that, Chinna. Like, yeah, you can show more. Can I click on show? Yep. Or you can go to the search integrations option and just type in, as Wikipedia. Yeah, Wikipedia search. Yeah, you can add all. Just cross check once if it's
I'm having
added,
a
Chinna. Yeah.
I'm having an issue with the
Okay. No problem, Chinna.
series, and I'm trying to move the window. So I'm selecting Wikipedia search now.
Sure.
So it's got added. Yes, it got added. Now closing the search tree, the tools tree. So Wikipedia search got added. That is coming from the tools provided by Wikipedia. So that we have added by clicking this plus add option available in the tools.
Yes, you can add any number of tools as per your feasibility, Chinna. So just yeah, so that the AI can think accordingly. I mean, the AI agent can think accordingly in fetching the output.
Hmm.
Sure.
So what is the next
And
step now?
next step is like, you can start prompting. In fact, you can talk to the bot and you can ask.
Select the model as well, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You can choose a relevant model. I mean, yeah, as long as it is able to provide. Yeah. So ChatGPT 5.5 is the latest model. It is able to give like, so and so tokens.
so
So if they respond,
5.4 will be a little lower model, this little
yeah,
earlier version. So
yeah.
consuming less tokens. So I'm selecting
You can choose
5.3.
5.4 mini also.
Okay.
We can check on the tokens count just to cross check.
So tokens is the number of free credits that we'll be using. So if
Yes,
we have the less tokens, then it will be good. So that's the idea over.
sure. We can go with this model. I think
So
like Diffie is generous enough to give some decent amount of tokens for even the latest models, and
yeah.
so we can test with one of these.
So I am asking the question, provide a FIFA 2026 schedule. So I got this schedule from Wikipedia. So
Okay.
it provides a venue, US, Canada, Mexico, when it will be held. So how many number of teams are there, and so on, right? So this is a small use case. So we have not used the latest tools or highly advanced tools that are available.
Exactly.
Neither we have used the highly advanced AI models because, as you can see, other advanced AI models like GPT 5.5 and all are available, which will
Mm,
use high number of credits. So we have low number of credits because we are using all non-paid versions. So with
mhm.
that, we have tried to create a small AI agent use case. So which uses the Wikipedia and which uses this AI agent. And we provided the context also in terms of what are the things that we will be uh, asking about to that AI agent.
That's right. So
So
the more latest that GPT, the LLM model, the more latest information will be there as well. To sample test it, you can just do a reverse engineering sort also. China, if you can choose, say for example, 4.0 mini, and if you are asking about even 2025 update, the model might not be aware of it to fetch the results from Wikipedia. So
mm,
again, choosing a latest version, will provide relevant information. So just thought I'll mention that. So it is purely the model, and yeah, and again, it complements the use case provided, that which the agents are. I mean, that which users are building with.
so any further points that you want to add about agent or workflow?
Yeah, one point that which I want to add, China, like there's a difference, even in Chat GPT, we have an option to add connectors and make chat gpt fetch information from the connectors and then provide information. The difference between that and an agent, how we think is we are building our use case, that is number one. We are able to just give knowledge and tools, and a agent is autonomous enough to automatically think. For example, say if you are actually choosing Yahoo Finance, for example, there's another tool such as Yahoo Finance, and you have added Wikipedia. So if you're questioning something pertaining to the FIFA 2026, budgeting, say how many nations are actually participating, and what is the auction that which was done, and what is the overall revenue, approximate or specific, whichever, pertaining to this particular World Cup that which is currently happening. So there is something that which information wise, that which for which Wikipedia is referred with by the model. And also in terms of finance, like the LLM will be able to actually fetch the information from the Yahoo Finance news. in terms of numbers. And we have Yahoo Analytics as well. So if we need to create a sample dashboard, it is able to fetch. And the best part is like, we don't have to tell the agent how to think. Like, it knows automatically. First, I choose Wikipedia. Secondly, I go out and choose like Yahoo Finance, and then again I check Wikipedia if required, and then I'm able to provide the desired results as per the users need. So, and also we'll be able to view the tracings of how the LLM thought, how many tokens it has been consumed as well, and how the output was actually generated. So we are able to view everything here on Diffie as well as here. And China, can you just hover your mouse pointer in that output response that which you have received just below? Yeah, you see the tracing. Just scroll up a little bit. Yeah, towards the right hand side, just little bit below, China. Yeah, can you just
Yeah.
I'm just giving yeah. So this is where you'll be able to ultimately view like the output response, what is the input and what is the output here. Like the AI has said like I'm not able to provide a real time data, so the output seems to be blank. But however, if it is real time, if it is able to fetch the real time updates, then you will be able to see an output in the JSON format. And if you click on tracing Chinna, also it will tell you the pattern in which the AI is able to think and respond. So it tells you the LLM then went on to search Wikipedia, and if an additional tool is added, like and again, the additional tool name is displayed there, and then the final processing happens back to the LLM, and from the LLM back to the user. So it is able to display a sequence of the thinking pattern, which is beneficial for the ease of understanding if a user requires and a brief knowledge about how the thinking pattern works behind this agent. So
So we
yeah,
we have now seen about Diffy, we have seen about the AI agent, a small use case within the AI agent. How do you think this will be helpful for business analyst role or a
yeah,
product manager role?
sure. For business analysts and product managers, for business analysts specifically, depends on the use case, right? For BAs who are actually working on building robust processes, chat flows and using a lot of connectors and loops to actually build systems together. So business analysts work with a lot of systems like front end, back end, a lot of integrations. So I honestly feel like if this method AI agent can somehow be adapted pertaining to the domain and the use case specifically, if we can think by means by which a particular use cases can be automated through like such agents, they can focus more on strategic decision making than operational and functional workflows. For example, in for banking or any such workflows in which for a user it's UI, right? Like always the user sees information, they interact with it, and they go to the next screen. And if something around that area can be automated with this particular agent, or even for notifications for that matter, if a BA is working on agent notifications that which has to be automated, definitely this kind of an adaptation will definitely benefit the BAs. It will save a lot of time, it will save a lot of work, and the clarity of information and the freedom by which they will be able to work in terms of being creative, and the feasibility of the output can be more structured and more relevant as well. And for product managers, definitely for product ideas and for creating you can create an agent that is able to serve as a prompt engineer, that is able to give you product generation ideas, product building ideas, be more creative. And you can also have an a product related agent that serves as a foolproof checker or a stupidity checker that tells you what measure or certainty will the product idea will realistically suit as per the market standards, so that they can realistically take a call when developing PRDs, taking up from the the initiatives, pillars, epics, to the time in which product idea is being taken up to the market. So I really think this is one of the steps. This is a great tool, but the adaptability and the feasibility by which it can be adapted, it's based on the domain, the use cases, and the actual implementation that which can be done. But I'm pretty sure this can be implemented. It is being done across the globe. This is one of the tools in the market. So I highly recommend Diffy for product managers and BAs. It can be very much indeed beneficial. Chena, is my opinion.
Thank you for providing this overview and
You're welcome, Chena.
walking us through Diffy, AA agent, and a small use case. So this is the first of many sessions that we are planning to do. As a recording, and it will be sent across. Thereafter, we will have some interactive sessions as well. So that's what we are planning. So thank you so
Sounds
much,
good, Chena.
Geoffrey.
It's a pleasure, Chena. Thank you so much for your time as well. And much regards to the IIBA team. Thanks for the opportunity. And looking forward to connect with you again for an exciting session soon, Chena. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoffrey. Closing meeting here.
Thank you. Thanks, Chena. Take care. Bye.